All right, we are live streaming on Facebook for those of you who are with us there. I posted the link to join this Zoom session right there in the feed where this is streaming. So you are welcome to hop in and join us. Otherwise, we have some questions that were submitted from group members this week that we will go through, and you can watch on the replay. I also want to mention that our new website launched this week. So if you haven't visited that already, I'll post that so that you have the link to it to check that out and learn more about what we do and if we can help you on your perimenopause journey. So that happened this week. I also would really love your guys' feedback on what time of day of the week would work best for you for these live hormone chats, because I know not many of you can actually join us live with work and whatnot, which is understandable. So I am planning on moving them to a time later in the day. On Tuesdays is what I'm currently planning on, but I always, of course, your guys' feedback is what guides all of these decisions. So let me know if that works better for you or if earlier in the morning would work for you. And then we will go from there on finding out the best time so that people can join live. Today's session is, we're going to focus on weight. I'm getting questions about weight like crazy, probably because we're in the holiday season. And that's a topic that is on a lot of our minds over the holiday season, is just kind of that, like, here we go. Am I going to gain weight? Then how am I going to lose the weight? What should I do to not gain weight? And for those of us who are in this perimenopause season, it may be even a little more unsettling for you than usual if you are in a season where you feel like you have been gaining weight easier than you used to. I know that this time of year can induce anxiety for many reasons, weight just being one of them. So the questions that I got this week, the majority were all kind of similar as far as what is happening with weight. So we're just going to kind of look at that as a whole and break it down. Have you ever thought to yourself, like, man, it seems like women gain weight as they get older? You probably have. It's very common with women that we tend to gain weight, oftentimes in our 40s, 50s, 60s. One of the more common things that we experience is that midsection roundness that can start as, I'm feeling like my pants are a smidge tighter. What's this little, muffin top? I didn't have this before. And typically then what we start doing is we start doing crunches like crazy when this happens, right? Oh my goodness, I better get at it with these ab workouts, right? But usually the ab workouts don't do the trick, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And then from there, that midsection tire can progress until a lot of women get more of that kind of apple shape, we describe it, when we reach this phase of life. So what is that about? Does that just like have to happen to women? Does that have to happen to you? Is it going to happen to all of us? Is that a thing, or am I crazy just like thinking that? Okay, number one, it is absolutely a thing. Women are very much prone to weight gain at this phase of life for several reasons that we'll look at. Does this have to happen? Does it happen to all women? Absolutely not. Is it going to happen to you? Not if we can help it, right? And when I talk about weight, just so you know, I'm never concerned about the number on the scale. I'm never concerned about your outward appearance. I'm concerned about your confidence and how you feel about yourself. But aside from that, we care about what's on the inside, including physically what's on the inside. So when we start to develop this weight gain, when we're in that perimenopause, menopause phase of life, it's not, I hope you don't look at it, although easier said than done, as we take this so seriously because in this phase of life, there's so much changing as far as a woman's role in life, a woman's role in society. These up and coming youngins are now kind of the prettier ones. And a lot of times women in their 40s, 50s, 60s feel a little bit unseen. And I hear this a lot from people. And I know that weight plays a really sensitive role in this. So we could ramble, we could talk about that a different day and you finding your self-worth outside of weight. But at the end of the day, one thing I will never ask you to do, nor do I ask my clients to do, is to step on a scale, because that's not what this is about, right? We are concerned about what is happening to our bodies on the inside and how that manifests and impacts our life on the outside. Okay. So, all right. With that said, I'll be real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are several factors against us that contribute to weight gain when we reach this phase of life. Okay. Number one, cortisol. Cortisol is what we consider our stress hormone. Okay. Just make sure no one else is here. Okay. Cortisol is what we consider our stress hormone. By the time we reach perimenopause, which is usually in your 40s, you have accumulated a good bit of stress in life. So there is a decent chance that your stress hormone, our friend cortisol, is a little off kilter. Your cortisol may be following some unpredictable patterns, doing some things we don't want it to do. This can majorly impact weight gain. When we're stressed, our cortisol goes up. Okay, stress up, cortisol up. Cortisol is actually called a fat storage hormone. Cortisol tells your body to hoard fat because you're going through stress. So that cortisol says, oh, she's going through stress again. We need to make more cortisol. And that cortisol is going to do a lot of things. But one thing it does, again, is it hoards that fat because your body says, geez, there's some stressful times coming up. I don't know when she's going to eat again. She's not really feeding herself super regularly already. And now we've got this, life stressor that's sending all these stress signals to her body. So I'm going to make more cortisol and I'm going to hoard onto that fat because I just don't know what's going on. And I don't know when she's going to eat again. Right. So our stress hormone directly causes that fat storage, which tends to accumulate around our waist. So it is actually called a stress belly when you start to get that. It's also referred to as a menobelly or a menopause belly because it so commonly happens when you get this stress cortisol effect during this phase of life. Okay, so we've got that cortisol component of it. We have your changing estrogen. When you're in perimenopause, your estrogen is going on a bit of a roller coaster. Okay, this estrogen sends different signals to our body that contributes to that weight gain. Okay. We also have our progesterone. Our progesterone is our third hormone that's changing in perimenopause. So we've now got three factors: your cortisol, your estrogen that's changing, and your progesterone that's changing, that can all contribute to a shift in weight or how your body handles weight and how your body metabolizes. All of this is directly linked, which is why when you're going through all these hormone changes in midlife, this is why the weight can come on out of nowhere and can come on with a vengeance, right? Because you're having all three of these major changes happening at once. And we really need them to operate as smoothly as possible in order for that weight gain to not come on. Okay. So, when I talk about those three things, that's in very simplified terms, but break it down a little further and we look at estrogen alone. Estrogen alone increases cholesterol levels. Let me rephrase that. The estrogen changes of perimenopause can lead to higher cholesterol, can lead to something called insulin resistance. Then those two factors down here on our hierarchy are also contributing to weight gain. So it's multifactorial. And when I say this out loud, it sounds a little bit daunting, right? It sounds kind of like, well, how am I going to get through this? Or how am I going to overcome this? So the problem I see in a lot of the ways that we try to tackle weight gain is we take a singular approach when we've got these multiple factors contributing to our weight gain, right? So we'll try, like, I'm just going to change the way I eat. Okay. I am going to follow a keto diet. And you might see some weight gain initially from that. But at the end of the day, you're not addressing all of those factors that are contributing to this weight gain. And actually, by just doing one thing like keto diet, which is a very restrictive diet, can actually make things worse and not better. That's one example. Say you're just going to start exercising more. That's great. That will definitely help you with this, but that's not, again, that's not addressing your changing hormones. That's not impacting your cortisol. Certain exercises or certain types of workouts can actually make this cortisol stress effect that we're talking about even worse. So there's just some particular ways that you need to approach this. Again, so just to reiterate that, that's where I see a lot of people have the most frustrations, is because they're trying to lose weight and just focusing on like one thing. I'm just doing Ozempic injections. Cool. That's going to help while you're doing it. That will absolutely help you lose weight. It will bring along side effects with it. And again, we're not addressing the underlying factors that were causing that weight gain in the first place, which in this case, we're talking about hormone imbalances. So, you can do Ozempic, you can take phentermine, that's a weight loss pill. You can just restrict and say, I'm going to save all my calories over the holidays and just only eat at, holiday parties, or I'm going to fast on certain days, or, whatever extreme measures you might be wanting to take or taking already. I encourage you to look at this from a more whole body perspective, because that's where you're going to get the long-standing weight loss that you want. And if you have persistent weight gain and you feel like you've been trying all the things and your weight is not budging, reach out. We're here to support you with that. We don't market as a weight loss program, because I'm way more concerned about you building muscle and having a healthy body than I am the number on the scale. That's the only reason we don't specifically market as a weight loss program. But if you follow our strategies, on average, most clients I work with lose about 10 pounds in 3 months. This is the average that I have running. Anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds is where we've ranged. So I say that to say that working on your hormones, especially in perimenopause and early menopause, will make a huge difference on your weight. It will help you lose weight now. It'll help you prevent weight gain in the future. And it'll help your body start to metabolize foods and balance that weight out better long term. And I know that's what you really want, is the long-term solution. Quick fix can get you somewhere for a short period of time, but at the end of the day, they typically do make your symptoms worse and can cause rebound weight gain that can be even more persistent. So I always say, don't suffer in silence. We have people here who can help you with this. So let's see, what else did I want to cover? So we've talked some about the why weight gain happens in perimenopause. We've talked about the fact that it really needs to be a multifactorial approach to helping you lose weight or prevent future weight gain. So when I say that multifactorial approach, we are not just looking at nutrition. We are not just looking at exercise. Those things are way too simple. You are a unique and much more complicated human being than that. We are looking at nutrition. We're looking at the what you're eating along with the when you're eating. We're looking at the type of movement you do and when you do it. We are looking at your mindset and the thoughts you tell yourself and the signals that your brain is sending throughout your body to help you lose weight. So it's a very holistic, functional approach to weight loss that really looks at resetting or rebalancing your hormones when you're in perimenopause or early menopause. And this is where we see the most success, okay, as women in this window who apply our strategies. And it's not just for the 12 weeks that we work together, or 8 weeks, or however long we work together. We teach you the skills to support your body for the decades to come when it comes to managing your weight and your metabolism. I don't ever want you to have to rely on something external, on something outside of you to take care of your body. My goal for you is to be able to manage your body yourself for the most part. Of course, we do, there are extenuating circumstances where we need doctors, but for your day-to-day health and hormone wellness and maintenance, my goal for you is to have the knowledge and skills to know what to do to take care of your body on your own, and not having to rely on injections or weight loss pills, or relying on someone to give you a meal plan or write you out what you need to eat that week. Those things aren't going to be realistic or sustainable for you. So if you need help in this area, we are here for you. Send us a DM. You can go onto our new website, which I will post below in the comments to this video, and you can book your consultation there. The holidays are, it seems counterintuitive, but I always encourage my clients, like, this is the best time to get started really focusing on your health, because we're in the thick of the holidays, because we're in the thick of that stressful time. So, girl, if you can get through the holidays and apply some self-care strategies that ensure that you don't gain those holiday pounds, you're good for the rest of the year. Like, this is the hardest time of year to get through. So if we can get through this hurdle, you're golden. Okay. Reach out if you want to talk more. Thanks to those ladies who submitted questions this week, and we will talk to you next week.